Manuel Tovar Rivera, Minister of Foreign Trade of Costa Rica. He's being supported here by Ana Lizano, who's the counselor from the Costa Rican mission. And we also have a great pleasure to have Ambassador Sarkis, Jose Buanin Sarkis. Sorry, just have to tell Ravi, please, Ravi. No, we're starting. So with that, I will, without further ado, let me just pass the floor over to Minister Tovar Rivera from Costa Rica. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all. Thank you for joining us on this important occasion. I hope you're enjoying your lovely weather here in Geneva. First of all, I am honored to participate this afternoon representing the coordinators of the Trade and Environmental Sustainability Structure Discussions TESSD. I will present an overview of the work we have been developing within this initiative and our perspectives for the short, medium, and long term of the TESSD. The progressive interest of members has now grown to 73 co-sponsors, with the recent addition of Tajikistan and Brazil, both developing countries with a strong will to enrich and strengthen our work. Joining me at the podium is Ambassador Sarkis, Jose Buanin Sarkis, Secretary of Foreign Trade and Economic Affairs of Brazil. The Trade and Environmental Sustainability Structure Discussions TESSD were officially launched back in November 2020 with the co-sponsorship of 50 WTO members who share the belief that international trade and trade policy can be enablers of the transition towards a climate-neutral, resource-efficient, circular global economy and can support global efforts towards the achievement of the SDGs and international environmental commitments. Sustainable development and the protection and preservation of the environment are enshrined in the Marrakesh Agreement of the WTO. And members have worked to advance those issues through the Committee on Trade and Environment and other relevant WTO bodies where environment issues arise. Our work within TESSD is intended to complement, enhance, and incubate ideas and processes that can advance the work of addressing today's pressing climate and environmental challenges. Since the launch of the discussions, our co-sponsors have worked to craft an agenda which touches on a wide range of interests where trade and environment meet. Individual members have identified issues which range from climate change, mitigation, and adaptation to sustainable agriculture to environmental goods and services, among many other issues. We have been heartened to see the level of interest and engagement of WTO members in addressing the environmental challenges that the world currently faces today. In December 2021, TESSD co-sponsors, which comprised 39 developed, 29 developing, and 3 least developed members, launched a ministerial declaration confirming their diverse interests as well as identifying thematic areas that would serve as the backbone for the work program that will guide our work in 2022. The main areas included in their declaration are: first, dedicated discussions on trade-related climate measures and policies, promoting and facilitating trade in environmental goods and services, achieving a more resource-efficient circular economy, promoting sustainable supply chains, and addressing challenges and opportunities arising from the use of sustainable standards and related measures, in particular for developing members. Challenges and opportunities for sustainable trade, capacity building, and technical assistance, aid for trade, and environmental effects and trade impacts of relevant subsidies. Since the launch of the statement, TESSD members have continued the high level of engagement on priority areas of interest. Following the release of the statement, the co-sponsors have decided to intensify the work that we are undertaking through a new work program. In order to advance more efficiently, but also at the speed that members apply to their priorities, we established 4 informal working groups that will meet regularly to discuss in greater depth the issues at stake. These 4 working groups are: number 1, environmental goods and services; 2, trade-related climate measures; the third one, on circular economy and circularity; and lastly, a working group on environmentally harmful subsidies. These working groups will count on the help of co-facilitators, which will be responsible for coordinating discussions in each of the 4 working groups. On behalf of Canada and Costa Rica, I would like to thank Norway, Ecuador, Switzerland, Turkey, Japan, Chile, Iceland, and Uruguay for their engagement in this task. We hope that the discussions across these areas will begin to deliver positive results as we move forward towards MC13. These informal working groups are expected to deliver more clarity on the state of play in each of the substantive areas. In a high-level stock-taking event, we will be organizing here at WTO by the end of this year. We want to stress that TESSD is an inclusive, forward-looking, and open platform where all the angles and perspectives are welcome. Being a co-sponsor and participating in discussions allow each member to add value and enrich the exchanges with their own realities and experiences. We also have the opportunity for direct engagement with a set of stakeholders who participate in TESSD and lend their expertise to our discussions. The perspectives that we hear from our partners from the NGOs, international organizations, and business communities brings a great depth of knowledge to our efforts. TESSD is a space for transparency and dialogue among participants, a place to learn more, not only from experts and stakeholders, but from each other, by asking questions and trying to answer them in a very dynamically way. This can be particularly interesting for developing countries and LDCs that have ongoing work and experience in the nature-based solutions and environmental services, but also face the different challenges to climate change and to the transition to a greener, more circular economy. We invite those members that have not joined as co-sponsors yet to do so. Our doors are open and our delegations in Geneva are ready to engage and assist members in this regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Let me pass the floor on to Ambassador Sarkis of Brazil. Ambassador.
Thank you, Director Lim. Thank you also, Minister Manuel Rivera. It's an honor to be part of this panel with you, colleagues, friends from the press. Yesterday, in the first round of the plenary sessions of MC12, we announced with satisfaction that Brazil has joined the TESSD Ministerial Declaration. Therefore, from now on, Brazil is a co-sponsor of this plurilateral initiative with 73 members. Since TESSD was launched, Brazil has actively engaged in the debates, even not being a co-sponsor. In that context, Brazil presented a proposal particularly related to a few work streams of TESSD. I would especially emphasize the environmental harmful subsidies work stream. Brazil's proposal, which was tabled, emphasizes the central role of the agricultural sector in promoting sustainable development and draws attention to the environmental impacts of agricultural subsidies. Brazil has also been a constructive participant in the discussions on trade and sustainability held in the WTO Committee on Trade and Environment. Current talks on these subjects have highlighted key challenges we have already met in the past. How to promote environmental objectives at the WTO while at the same time upholding and safeguarding an open and non-discriminatory multilateral trading system. We are ready to step up our contribution to that debate and help WTO members to find solutions to those questions. Brazil firmly believes there are several possible avenues we could explore to achieve that objective, in line with the working groups and the work streams that were structured in this initiative. I would particularly emphasize the need to further understand the need to eliminate harmful fisheries subsidies, eliminate distorting agricultural subsidies, as well as industrial subsidies. We do believe this would be a contribution to enhance not only trade efficiency, but also environmental and economic efficiency. With all these elements in mind, Brazil will propose in due course a discussion on common standards and criteria for national policies and measures related to environmental sustainability which have an impact on trading goods covered by the Agreement on Agriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. We're well over time. We were meant to finish about 15 minutes ago. So only with the indulgence of the panel, I can take only one question, but firstly from any journalists who have not already asked a question. Is there anybody in the room who has not already asked a question and would like to have the floor? Ravi, you've already done it? Just look. Yeah. Okay. I don't see anyone presently, so it's you, Ravi, Washington Trade Daily, if I got it right. Third World Network as well. Yeah, Sons as well. Okay. So, he hasn't asked yet. Yeah. Okay. Please. Question.
This is about TESD. Namely, most of the issues in the TESD agenda contain some kind of punitive measures. Is it possible for you to take a positive list approach where you can have patent-free technology transfer, financing in terms of, the whole program is being conceived particularly for developing countries, and also the capacity building, which is a very crucial element. I don't see any of these initiatives being questioned or challenged or negotiated, discussed in your initiative. The second question to Brazil is, are you ready to pay punitive measures for your deforestation programs, which is also part of this TESD initiative?
Okay, I turn to the panel. I don't know who would like to start for the... Yes, Minister.
I'll just briefly refer to the first question by Rabi. This is not a negotiating platform, so we have to take that into account. This is just a fora which is open for discussions brought by the co-sponsors, and it's just a platform of ideas. So any issue which is brought by others, it's certainly welcome to be discussed, but just to bear in mind that this is not a negotiating platform. In terms of capacity building and technical assistance, if you go to the declaration, which was adopted, we'll be happy to share I'm sure you have it. There's a specific reference to capacity building and technical assistance. Thank you.
Ambassador Sakis.
Thank you very much. I will try to be brief and respond to both questions in my intervention. No, definitely, Brazil is of the view that a lot of the problems related to the environment, including to forest, can be addressed by putting in place the right incentives, especially positive incentives, rather than negative or punitive incentives or measures, restrictive measures. And we do believe that in many ways trade and trade liberalization is the way forward in setting the right incentives, the positive incentives that will induce not only economic efficiency, but also environmental efficiency. As Minister Manuel Rivera stressed, this is a platform of discussions open to different views, to different ideas, focused on the possible potential contribution of WTO as an institution, as an economic international organization, that also is a negotiating forum to add value to our to our capacity of addressing these environmental, climate-related challenges. So trade is an important instrument. We have to use trade as also an engine to foster sustainability across the different geographies and internally also in our economies. Thank you very much.
So thank you all very much. I think this brings us to the end of this press briefing. Thank you very much, Minister. Thanks, Ambassador. Thank you all for attending. Thanks.